Good afternoon, morning, late morning, early afternoon, Facebook viewers. My name is Tom Lowy, and I'm sitting here with Brittany Grimes. Hi, Brittany.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm finally warm.
Good, I'm glad you are. Prepare for Wednesday.
Yeah,
Wednesday.
yeah. Everybody says Brittany Grimes is here. Brittany, you're the brand new president at the NAACP. Your term started in January.
Yes.
So we want to talk about that, and we'll talk a little bit about Black History Month. Okay. But right now, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself. We're in Carl Sandburg College, and why is that?
Okay. So, as you said, my name is Brittany Grimes. I actually work at Carl Sandburg College. I'm the Director of Marketing and Public Relations here. I've been actually here for 2 years. I came back to Galesburg in 2016, and from the Washington, D.C. area. But it's been fun being actually here at Carl Sandburg College and just enjoying it all. So,
you're an original Galesburg person. You graduated high school in 2004.
Yep, graduated in 2004 from Galesburg High School. Actually, I am probably a third generation graduate of Galesburg High School. I think
Right.
we've had graduates from my grandparents to my mother, actually cousins as well, aunts and uncles. I went to Virginia State University. Graduated from there in 2008 with a bachelor's in science and marketing. That was extremely fun. Actually had the opportunity. It was a historically black college and university, which is outstanding. I then went to work for Altria Group Company as a territory sales manager, and at the same time got my MBA from University of Maryland.
So you've been busy.
Very much so.
And you came back to Galesburg. Tell us your reasons for coming back.
So I came back to Galesburg actually for family. I think there's this call that happens with some of us where it's like you're coming from the Midwest and you go somewhere else and it's like, come back home. So I had that call that happened, like I said, in addition to my family members. And so I decided to come back home, spend some time with my family. Those are the most important people to me. But also there's a lot of really great experiences that people can get here in Galesburg that you might not be able to get if you're somewhere else. You're not able to have the effect on local change in a larger community as you would here at home. So that was another really good reasoning and benefit for being back home.
So this next question is going to be kind of two parts. You come back in 2016 and you hit the ground running as far as coming back to this community and wanting to help, but you have a legacy that you're kind of carrying on in some ways.
Yes, very much so.
So let's talk about that part first,
Okay.
and then the first part second.
Absolutely. So some people may know of my grandparents. So W.C. and Thelma Jackson are actually my grandparents. W.C. Jackson was actually the first black alderman here in Galesburg, served for many years. My grandma, Thelma Jackson, worked at the Carver Community Action Agency for many years with students and with children, and she's probably an inspiration to a lot of people.
Right.
Besides telling people to pull their pants up and working there for basketball on Saturdays, she was definitely one that kept us all in line. My grandfather was a quiet servant. He would take me to City Hall occasionally, and then take me out for ice cream.
Right, that's cool.
But it was always fun watching them and seeing the effect that they had on the greater community, because everyone that came through the Carver Center knew my grandmother. Everyone that came through the Carver Center knew my grandfather, and it was once again that seemingly being able to build community out. That was really bred into me. So I helped at my grandmother because I worked at the Carver Center for a few years. Like I said, I spent time with my grandfather. And so that legacy has always been there to give back to my community at every possible chance. And so it's been a pleasure and a joy to be able to serve Galesburg in a plethora of volunteer activities that I am in. One, of course, being the NAACP.
Right. You got involved with Heart and Soul. And this is funny. You told me
Yes.
you got involved with Heart and Soul because you went to an NAACP
meeting,
which is really kind of cool.
Exactly. So it was April of 16, I think. Yeah, it's April of 2016. It was an NAACP meeting, and Heart and Soul was invited to come and talk because they just started and they were about to go into I think it was the second stage
Right.
of the data collection, and so they were looking for people that could help out and wanted some input from the NAACP. And so I sat there and I asked Deb Moreno like 1,000 questions, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just join us?" So I was like, "Sure, why not?" So like I said, it was a fun It was a fun collaboration. Like I said, I ended up being NAACP at the same time as Heart and Soul.
So elected president in November,
Yes.
and you said you know that being nominated was not surprising, but then at the same time, kind of
It kind of was. So you get taken aback a little bit.
taken aback.
Taken aback,
yeah.
yes. And it wasn't because, like I said, I call myself a reluctant leader. It's not saying that I have to be in the spotlight.
Right.
I like being the person behind the curtains that draws a string. Like, I'll be your support person.
Right.
I'll do what you need me
Help
to do.
out.
I'll help out. But
Right.
I don't want to be center stage. But what it really is it's still an opportunity to, once again, help serve the community. And so while it is, like I said, taken a little bit aback because you believe that there's someone else that can do it better than you, it is a good opportunity, and I'm glad that the individuals in the organization have enough faith in me to actually fulfill the mission that we will fulfill together. So I'm just glad to be able and proud to be able to represent them as well.
NAACP historically has always been very diverse, from its smallest chapters to its largest chapters.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I found interesting that I talked to you about during our interview was Devon Earls, who works at Knox College and is very involved in Knox College, was president of the NAACP, and then you, who are here at Carl Sandburg College. And really, Knox and Sandburg, two of the most diverse portions of our community, correct?
Absolutely.
So talk about coming from, a place of learning, a place where there's a lot of diversity already.
I think what's really great about being at Sandburg, and I think probably even Devon can speak about that, being at Knox, is you're in a place of learning. And so you're not limited by any means. You're only limited by your own imagination. I think what's great about having that experience is, like you said, you're already able to embrace a larger group of individuals because they're already here.
Right.
I think it's awesome to be kind of working in collaboration with him continuously, because he is still on as the second vice president, because you're able to pull from that breadth of experience that he already currently has.
Sure.
So being from a diverse population, it definitely helps because, hey, once again, we're already having these conversations. We're already making sure that people are feeling included, or having conversations in order if they don't feel included. It just, I don't know. It's a joy. I enjoy, like I said, the educational environment that we're in. I wish I'd have known about Sandburg a little bit more. So
I definitely wanted to touch on that because, I mean,
Good.
like I found after I moved here, I remember saying to somebody, "Wow, what a wonderful place!" Really.
Oh yeah.
So talk about why you think of it.
Sandburg is amazing. I don't think people really understand what is here. They get confused and say, "Oh, it's just another community college."
Right.
Sandburg was rated to have what did we have? We were #1 in technology for a community college our size, and the only reason why we couldn't compete the last year of the actual award was because we won it so many times. We have telepresence robots. We have the welding. We have SimMan.
Right.
We have all of these different ways that we integrate technology into our teaching. Our instructors are fabulous. I have not seen a more dedicated group of individuals to their students to make sure that they are successful. I have yet to see, and I would almost compare them to some of my instructors, but they will push you to make sure that you are the best that you can be. They're not going to just accept any old thing. And once again, people might think, oh, it's just a community college instructor. No, these individuals are highly capable. They are experts in their field. They
Right.
know what they're talking about, and they absolutely love working here as well. So that love and that desire to see growth in anyone, and once again, I think we get it confused because we think, oh, community college is just for 18 to 25 group. No, there are people that come back after that age,
Right.
and want a little bit more. We're here and we're willing to work with you as well, which is great because you think that you're doing this alone. You're not. You have an entire team behind you to
Right.
help you be successful. And so that's what I really love about the whole community college system, especially here at Sandburg. Because once again, we're all here holding each other's hands, making sure that you get what you need to get so that you can be successful later on in life, whatever that is, whether that is in your you want to transfer to a 4-year and get a 4-year degree, whether you want to just get a certificate, you want to go out and do a trade.
Right.
We got you. Also,
and it's really the embodiment of lifetime learning.
Yes.
Because you shouldn't be done learning when you're 21 or 22 or 26 after you have your graduate degree or whatever. And so let's transition that to Black History Month, because I find it interesting. I'm really became very interested in your personal perspective, in that you made the conscious decision. You actively applied to historically Black colleges and universities, and that was a goal as a very young person, right when you got out of high school. And so I'm interested to hear, to talk to us about Black History Month from your personal perspective.
So I think Black History Month to me is, as I was telling you earlier, it's a time of reflection. It's not a time to say like, oh, it's just one specific month. It's a time to think about not only those people that were there before us, but also to think about those people that were to the side of that. So once again, we understand and we know about the Martin Luther King of the world. We know about the Rosa Parks, the Frederick Douglasses, the W.E.B. Du Bois, but we don't think about some of the people that came in between those blips. And so it's about really reflecting upon our past as a whole, as opposed to just one piece or the other, because we're made up of an entire timeline of things that had happened.
Right.
And I think it's a time for us to sit back and say, you know what? Let's look at everything, and let's look at those revolutionary pieces and people that might have not been exactly in the grain, in order to understand if those ideas and or thought process may be right for right now, because they might have not been right then, but they may be okay right now.
Right.
So it's really about taking a step back and really understanding the holistic part of our history. And I think it's important that we continuously celebrate Black history. We continuously celebrate Latin, Hispanic heritage. It's important that we celebrate Native American as well as Asian history, because everybody had their part to play within our history overarchingly. And to understand and to respect that, we need to go back once again, look at everything and see how we can ingrain that into our everyday conversation, so it doesn't just become one day or 1 month. It becomes a fluid, this is all our collective histories through 12 months of the year, not just one. But it's still very important for us to realize that we need to reflect upon ourselves. I think I was telling you earlier, I when I was in high school, we really didn't do much for Black History Month at the time. And so every day I would write a Black history fact and put it on the announcements. I think I maybe missed 2 or 3 days, but I made sure that was a part of it. Through college, through Virginia State University, we had the gospel chorale. We would do tours, and we would talk about Carter G. Woodson, and we'd sing the spirituals, and we would do that from a gospel and from a music perspective. So once again, it's about looking at our history as a whole, and not just accepting things as they are currently, and knowing that they can always be better.
Yeah, you mentioned blips. It's kind of like everybody knows the touchstones, the Rosa Parks, and W.E.B. Du Bois, and Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. And, but when you say, all that stream that leads to, from, and beyond all those people, that's an interesting, very interesting perspective. You have an event coming up this week, if I'm correct?
We actually have 3 events coming up this week.
Oh, that's right. So it's going to be on Thursday and then Friday.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
That's right, Okay, so let's talk about them.
Sure. So on Thursday, we have World Cafe. And that is a collaboration between the Illinois NAACP and the Sheriff's Association. I'm not saying it right, and I apologize. Illinois Sheriff's
Association. That's exactly right.
And so that's happening this Thursday at 4:30 p.m. I want to say that's at Bethel Baptist.
That's right.
And then, and once again, that's really about just having conversations with your local government. And so, once again, just facilitating conversations, making sure that everyone feels that they're a part of the table. On Friday, we have our actual kickoff with the Orpheum Theater, who is co-sponsoring Hidden Figures, which we are really excited about.
And I think a lot of people are excited about that. A lot of people like that movie.
Yes, I'm so happy. We got something that I think a lot of people can relate to,
Right.
Be excited about. We also have Dr. Mary Crawford from Knox College that's going to be facilitating a discussion afterwards, so we're really excited
Fantastic.
about that.
Good.
And then on Saturday at the Galesburg Public Library, we'll be having, it's called American Creed.
Right.
So that is a documentary, I believe, and we have Mr. Wendell Hunnigan, and he will
Right.
be facilitating a discussion then after that as well. And American Creed is really about people being from different backgrounds, but understanding that we are still one country,
Right.
and we're still all here together.
That quest to understand
Yes.
what unifies us
Exactly.
and so forth.
Absolutely.
An interesting discussion.
Yes. Yes.
And I find it interesting, before we wrap up here, the films are definitely a chance if you want to stay. You can talk about what you've seen. You can talk about what you don't understand. You can talk about what you agree with, what you don't agree with. One of the things I talked about with Devon last year was the fact that dialogue really is encouraged.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think dialogue is a place where we can come to an understanding, and it's not to say that, discourse won't happen, but it's about having polite discourse and about having discussions that will in turn create something for all of us to exist in.
Right.
And I think that's what the most important piece is.
Yeah. Listen, it's been great meeting you. We hadn't formally sat down ever before, and that's my fault, I'm sure. But it's been great meeting you, and thank you, folks. You've just met Brittany Grimes. She is, among many things, the president of the NAACP, and so she's new in January. So we talked to her about that. We talked to her about her job. She's the director of marketing and public relations here at Carl Sandburg College. So she's very active in this community within our community. And so thanks for meeting and sitting down and speaking to us.
Absolutely. Glad to be here and glad to have you, and look out for other opportunities as well in Black History Month. So
That's right. I was just going to say, can we do this again maybe?
Yes.
Just sit down and talk about something.
yes, please. We have some really exciting stuff come together. We have some partnerships with the Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
With KCAP.
We have to really talk about that.
Yeah, we have a lot of different pieces coming up. We have book clubs, 2 book clubs.
Right.
We have the Gospel Fest with the Rock Island
Which I know
Community Church.
a lot of people are also looking forward to.
Exactly. So we have a lot of really great activities. So I hope that everyone can come out and enjoy themselves once again and just be a part of this together with us.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Folks, you've been watching and listening to Brittany Grimes, and we really appreciate having her. We hope everybody has a great day. Stay safe out there. The roads are a little bit dicey, and things are quite cold.
Yes,
So
they are.
have a good day, folks.